When Mother was here. Christ, those were good times. Jacob knows instantly how weird this sounds, but there's no one around to hear him, much less mock him. He continues his reverie. We only people-watched after dinner. We were always so busy, only stargazing during late-night restless spells. Mom always had time for me, especially at night. I didn't have to say a word. She would just rub my neck and tell me about things I'd not yet seen, things she wished for me. That touch, the touch of a mother, better than anything I've experienced since. It is only a mother who can love another life as much as she loves her own, without any of the doubts. Only a mother can disregard another's flaws as being vital to the unique life she has taken a vow to defend. It feels like a lifetime ago to Jacob, when he was someone else. A past life, he thinks, harping on the futility of the notion. Whereas everybody else is sure they were Joan of Arc or King Tut, I am sure I was a kid who was in love with his mother. That was before my sister moved back home. Now there's only trees and the incessant stamping and stomping from the apartment above. Today is a great morning, though. Nobody can dispute that. And so the day's spectacle begins. The pavement below his window is wet. Not wet like after rain, but like dew on stiff grass of a farm just before dawn. He begins to catalogue his impressions. The hordes make their pitiful return. Glancing to the far left side of the block, he's disgusted. How strikingly ordinary. Looks like most of them have already passed. Others are running strapped with suitcases and umbrellas and countless amounts of other shit. Enough shit to make a stand at the Alamo. Their suitcases are huge and beautiful. They must have 1,000,000 little pockets inside. Pockets for everything. There is only a drizzle today, but their umbrellas are out. They are still wet. The dampness permeates the whole street, but they are the most wet, soaked with the atmosphere. The misty haze is how I imagine the streets of Paris to be, if the French were dead and lifeless. Oh God, how can I make this day different for me than for them? He shifts in his seat, remembering he needs to get back to work. However, the sight is too much to look away. No one understands how it really works in the city. People don't walk down the street in a huge pulsating body of capitalist intent as they are often depicted. No, they are amassed in 1,000 separate bubbles, which happen to be blown in the same direction, back and forth, back and forth. As the sun rises, the shadowy flow evolves. Fast-moving spurts of darkness are all I can see at first. As the light grows, the hazy figures are replaced by long legs. Ghoulish voids replaced by contours too distinct to miss even from my distance. She might be a Sarah, he thinks of the first woman. Or wait, maybe a Nicole. Yes, Nicole. She reminds him of a belly dancer he once saw in A&E. She's attractive. Very. But I bet she reeks of BO. Just a hunch. I always thought belly dancers would reek of something. That guy is an Alan. Him right there, the guy with the ski outfit, he's going to be Lance. Oh, Lance, my porn star stockbroker with a ski jacket. All day long, waiting to be flattered and flirted with, only to turn them away, expecting a better offer attached to a paycheck. If only I had half the girls he'll turn down today. I wonder if his parents know he wears a ski jacket over a suit on his way to work. They'd be disappointed. Jacob's voyeurism is turning into a fever pitch now. What a beak on that girl. He imagines himself shifting jarringly in the seat as one might do in a sitcom after seeing such a huge nose. I don't think I've ever seen anything so large. And that suit next to that nose. That suit makes that fat guy look quite trim, especially next to those tits walking right beside them. Jesus Christ, those tits. All ducks in a row. He's really rolling now. Mr. Tits, the suit and the nose, like a Mod Squad trio in a suburban comic book. He names them all as they go by, some of them lucky enough to retain their names day after day. Those lucky enough to have a huge nose, a wonderful suit, or breasts that refuse to be covered. This is it, he thinks. This is my theater, in better than Technicolor. The actors don't know, which makes them better than those chumps on stage. Lucky enough to be noticed, he thinks again. We all want to be noticed and lucky. The word luck strikes him. He's not quite sure what to make of this word, this ineffectual piece of shit that drives us half out of our minds. Jacob understands the concept of luck, but believes it only has meaning in a concrete sense. He draws a quick line to make it clear. Luck, true luck, in its most perfect form, lies with those walking on the far side of the street. That is, people pick patterns, habits from which they will never deviate. Wake up, brush your teeth, take a dump, comb your hair, grab the keys, wait at the light, walk this block, wait at the light, walk that block, wait at the light, arrive at work, mission complete. But these habits don't treat all people the same, and it's black and white for me, which have gotten a fortunate break. Some people will routinely wake up at 2:30 a.m. to have blockbuster sex with their partners, sex made better by the fact they are still mostly asleep and their hands wander around their partner's bodies, freely grabbing holes and gaps in cheeks without any thought of sexual taboo. Others step off the number 27 bus every morning and have a cigarette in their mouth before walking 5 steps. These are the patterns of our lives, and we choose them. The people on my street are no different. Yet those walking on the far side of 92nd hold my attention a bit more. For all practical purposes, I guess they're the same. But those walking to work on the north side have been given a special gift. They are the lucky ones. Those poor bastards don't even know. The rest of Jacob's block is as you would imagine, no especially intriguing things. Connected to one side of his apartment complex is another just the same, except that it was refinished with a different shade of brick after a fire took off the upper 1/3 6 or 7 years ago. A good friend of his mother's died in that fire. She had been in the shower when the alarm went off and had taken her hearing aid out. She never even knew the flames were coming until the power was cut, and she fell out of the tub onto the floor with a mouthful of smoke. 67 years old, and she died naked and soaking wet on the bathroom floor, just like in those emergency responder commercials. Jacob wondered if her death was less painful because she couldn't hear her own screams or the bubbling sizzle of her skin, the same way starving kids on TV aren't as bad if you focus on their faces instead of their swollen stomachs. He figured it was all about where you focused. On the other side of the street, more of the same, except that there was Lenny's Deli, the magazine stand, and a couple odds and end places that were eventually going to be bought out. Next to those, on the far half of 93rd, was the local bus station. It wasn't the efficient mass transit of real prosperous cities, but it got people around. Past that, the real city began, mostly new stuff remodeled during a small economic boom at the end of the 1980s. It had the redeeming qualities of any area the same size: a thriving drug trade, cops too busy to care in on the take, elderly women screaming from windows, boys in the street pretending to be pimps, and girls willing to be pimped. And that was it. Not the sort of place where things happen, yet things were happening. Halfway across the country, inside an office, on a huge touchscreen was a map of Jacob's city. The digital representation, spanning coast to coast, was covered with red markers about every 200 miles. In the spot that Jacob would have recognized as the empty lot a few blocks away, stood a yellow beacon flashing meekly, unaware of its future.